Tesla, ARM, everything in its pre-market range, except for Apple. Shop. Let's look at this Apple on a 15-minute. What does that look like? Yeah, that's not nearly enough. I don't think that's enough. I'm going to move out to a 15-minute just to stay out of trouble. I don't think this Apple's ready. Apple lows. And Apple just hovering here at lows. Amazon. Tesla. ARM. AMD. Shop. Google. Apple with a pop. And this 185.08 against 185.30 is where I want to put it on. So basically like 10 cents against 30 cents, risking 20 cents. I'm gonna try to put that on. So trying to get this Apple short right above the hole for a scalp to the short side back down to lows. It's about 15 cents from my offer. Maybe I'm too conservative there above the hole. We'll see. If I don't get it, that's fine. But that short up there at pre-market lows looks like the play I want to be involved in. Here's the 90s again. Can it peak up above 85 quickly? Got up to 95 there. Did not get up over the hole. But a trip up over the hole can be so likely in a situation like this that I don't really want to get in at inferior prices below the hole, just because I think I think the likelihood of them checking up above for stops is high. So I'd like to get in on those stops. But maybe it won't go up there, so then I just won't get filled. Meanwhile, let's look at Amazon, still in its pre-market range. Let's look at Tesla. And yeah, looks like I may have missed it. I did not get it there. It got up to 97 cents. Tesla, pre-market range. ARM, pre-market range. AMD, pre-market range. Shop, recovering off of its lows. And Google also. Here's the high 90s again. Here comes 85. Can it get up above 85 and fill me? Really struggling to get up over 85, isn't it? Really struggling to get up over 85. I don't want to chase this down. I really don't want to take the extra risk on it. So I'd like to get my prices or just not be involved. Yes, just very, very tight here. And Shop is making quite a recovery here off those pre-market lows. Really taking off. Tesla, pre-market range. ARM, pre-market range. Amazon, pre-market range. AMD, pre-market range. Shop, pre-market range. Google, pre-market range. Everything in its pre-market range. Oh, here's 85. Can we get those? Here's 1 cent, 4 cents. I'm up at 7. Can I get those 7s? I got them. There we go. Okay. So I waited for my price. I got my price. Short Apple at 7 cents. Stops above 30, and I'm looking for this to come and revisit lows. So I don't want to see it plow through and get up to the 20s here. I want to see it reject and come right back in. This is a scalp. I'm not sitting around in this. So if we get a quick move down to the 60s, 50s, I will take that. Right now, I'd like to see it move away back underneath 85, and I'm not seeing that right now. Let's see what it looks like if it can get back under 85. ES is moving lower, but I don't really like the way this Apple is ticking. I was hoping it would push away from here. I'd like to see it below with a 90-cent offer soon, working its way down into the 80s. I don't really like what I'm seeing here. I need to see it moving away quicker. Can it get down with a 90 offer? No, it can't. I don't really like this. I want to see the sell-in come back in. I'm not seeing it. And they keep defending those 90s. I don't really like that. I'm getting very cautious here. I don't see the selling continuing here now that I'm in the position in the short, so I might scratch this. I'd really need to see that 90 give up, and I'm not seeing it. I'm taking this off. I don't like it. There's something about this that I just do not like. I took it off there. I got 97 cents, so I just made 10 cents on this. It was just a scratch play, basically, but I don't like the way that this is ticking. It broke the 90 there. Oh, there it goes. So just lack of patience on my part. So that's just a trade management error on my part there. As I got out of the position as soon as it started working, there it is to the 70s. So that was just a big mistake on my part. I'll need to review what that looks like on the tape and make adjustments accordingly. But looks like I was in the correct position. Here it goes falling apart. But yeah, that's those judgment calls you kind of have to make. I did not like the way it was just hovering there, and the selling was not coming back in. Obviously now, 20 something cents, 30 cents below where I covered it. I wish I had those back. So it is what it is. But let me set a marker, and we can always review after the day is done. Check, 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 1, 2. It is a few minutes before power hour starting here. I am short this Apple as of, gosh, 10, 15 minutes ago. It's starting to work. I took my first partial off right here, and I am looking to take the second part of my core off in the 60s and then let part of it run. So I'm going to see what happens with that. I did have another trade on AMD earlier, which did not work. It was a short attempt that just didn't work out. And I scratched it for a pretty small loss, and just found my way into this Apple after just being patient, staying at work, and working on other stuff. But you can see it cracked that pre-market low right here, and then I just waited for the pop back up into an area I felt that could be defended, which was right around there, and that worked out. So I'd like to see if Apple can come down into this area down in the 60s. I have an order down at 66 cents, which is just about 20 cents away now, to cover another part of my core and then leave the runner. So hopefully that will make it down there. I'm gonna head back to work. Okay, Apple's sitting at these lows, did not crack them. That 79-cent area held. I'd really like to see if it can go attack that, but that may not be in the cards. This fell pretty far, pretty fast. So unless that seller's really willing to sit here and push right now, you can see right there. I think that was actually a late print. Or maybe on some other exchange, because that was way out of the money. I'd really like to see them come attack that 79-cent. But maybe it's not in the cards here today. Might not be in the cards today, and I don't want to risk a ton just to make another 10 cents. So, gonna have some trade management come on here. If this doesn't hold and if we don't crack down here on this attempt, I'm gonna take one more off and leave a fifth of the position on for a runner. But this is the last piece of my core that I wanted to hold down to 60 cents, which is just 20 cents below here. So we're very, very close. I'd like to be able to stretch those profit targets and try to get them. Can we break through that 79-cent bid? Not really, no. Not getting down there to test. I do see the red ticker going, which is going to help. Here we are, 2 pennies off lows. There's a penny off lows. Can this apple get down? There's low. Can we break through lows? No, we bid up again. We bid up again. I'm going to cover another one. I just don't. I don't like that. I don't like that. That is just sitting there. It had the chance to crack lows. ES is on lows. Everything else is on lows. It's not going. So I'm out of my core, and now I'm down to just my runner. Fifth of my original position, and this one's really against just this trend line that is happening here. So if this thing breaks and we get like above 95 cents, then I'm out. There's new lows. There goes Apple to new lows. 70s. Let's see if we can get below 50 cents. And what would be a complete Hail Mary? Complete Hail Mary would be down to 83. That would be a complete Hail Mary. I don't know if we're going to get that lucky, but I'll put something down in the 30s just in case. Just in case. And then on the recovery, I don't really want to hold on to this if we get back above like 88 cents. I'm out. So now really nothing to do as I'm down to my final runner on the position. There's the 60s. And I'm risking what, 20 cents to try to make another 60 cents. Or not even. Another 30 cents. So that might not make the most sense. Let's see if the seller picks up here. I don't see any like exhaustion volume or anything to indicate that this is at its end, this sell-off here. Can this apple crack further? It's past 3 o'clock. It's 3:04 now. Apple's a penny off of lows. New lows on Apple. Is this seller going to come in and start really hitting it? Looks like they've been in it for a while. I actually traded Apple to the short side this morning, but it wasn't ready, and I scratched the position. Here's that target area that I was looking for. Well, not much to do here. Just gotta let this thing basically stop me out against this trend line. 87, yeah. So I'll go on pause. I'll come back either stopped out of this last runner or closer down here. Check, check. Okay, it is now 3:15 and we have dropped a little bit further. Apple continuing to move lower. We're at lows again, kind of piercing through this area here, and the bottom side of this zone here, which is off of the higher time frame volume profile, is where I'm trying to get my cover to fill down here as it approaches down to 83. I think we might be able to get there. I do need to redraw this trend line now that we have that right there. And so now, I mean, essentially my stop is really unchanged here. It's at 87 cents. It doesn't really change except for a few pennies. I'm just going to leave it and see if I can get this thing to run. So nothing has really changed from my plan of action. I do have an eye on the clock as it is approaching the end of day. Don't want to be caught in a position at the closing bell because I go flat home every night. And I am, let's see, about 20 cents away from getting filled here. So I don't think I'm going to risk back to 87, given that I'm only 20 cents away. It doesn't make sense to risk more than what you are trying to get out of the profit. So let's go ahead and change this to a buy stop. And so that's going to be at what, 70, so 82 cents. So if this thing completely reverses and starts going that way, then I'll get knocked out. Otherwise, we'll see if we can capture a push down below. But Apple's holding up here at this area. So we'll see. Maybe that was the end of the move. If it is, that's fine. I think I managed it correctly and I gave it a chance to go. So, okay, back to work. Check, check. Okay, it's just about 3:30. Here we go. We're at lows again. Tesla also on lows. Let's take a look at what Tesla looks like. Tesla on lows. AMD coming in. ARM on lows. Amazon approaching back to lows. Shop on lows. Google on lows. AFRM on lows. So I want Apple over here. I want Apple over here. And it's definitely breaking down this trend line now. So what do we get down to? 51 cents. We didn't even crack 50. So I might be taking a stop here on this in just a second. As I think that, yeah, right there. So flat Apple, really nice trade. Was basically flat on the day after having a trade or two in Apple and AMD, just nothing really to sink my teeth into, and then just waited for this setup all day long for something to show, and then Apple cracked, jumped into the trend continuation, and caught a nice piece of that trend continuation. So that'll probably be it for me here today.